This video will save you at least 6 years of your life. Let's start with some statistics. The average person spends 3 hours and 15 minutes per day on their phone. Let's round that down to 3 hours for the sake of simplicity. Spending 3 hours a day on your phone means that across the space of a week, you are spending 21 hours on this little device. As we all know, there are 52 weeks in the year, so at a rate of 21 hours per week, that means you will be spending 1,092 hours or 45.5 days on your phone per year. Just for some perspective, the minimum holiday allowance allocation in the UK for the year is 28 days, and most people complain that this is not enough time. Let's say you live for another 50 years. I haven't just plucked 50 out of thin air as a random figure. The average age of you great people that watch this channel is between 25 and 34. We now know that we spend 45.5 days a year on our phones. So across that period of 50 years, this means you will spend 2,275 days on your phone, which equates to 6.2 years. 6.2 years. I've done a video previously on the only video that you need to stop procrastinating. You can see that on the screen now. And I've spoken about the mastery of a skill. It's estimated that it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. 2,275 days is equivalent to 54,600 hours. What this means is, if you invested 20% of that time that you're spending on your phone, you would be able to master a skill. All I ever hear whenever I try to convince people that they should be doing something to better themselves, and bearing in mind, it's for their benefit, it's not for mine, doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. I just hear excuses left, right and centre. I haven't got the time. Kids take up too much time. I'm too busy with work. Stop lying to yourself and stop making excuses. So the question is, how do we combat this addiction in order to increase our productivity? Whether you want to admit it or not, mindlessly scrolling your phone for 3 hours a day, and bearing in mind this is just the average, is an addiction. I can say this for a fact because I've had plenty of addictions of my own in my lifetime. Now that's a story for another day, but the point that I'm trying to raise is that I know exactly what addiction looks like. And the funny thing about addiction, the ironic thing about it, is that addicts, they like to lie to themselves, that it isn't a problem. Be honest with yourself, tell yourself the truth, you are a phone addict. First of all, delete all social media apps from your phone. What are you really getting out of spying on other people's lives other than making yourself feel inadequate? What's the benefit to it? What is the value it is adding to your life? Is it absolutely necessary that you spend hours on end mindlessly watching shorts on whatever social media site you prefer? Delete those social media apps right now whilst this video is going on. Next, do not disturb is your new best friend. I recently made a video on my morning routine for success, which you can see on the screen now. But one of the key elements that I failed to mention is that I am a huge advocate of the do not disturb setting. From 9 o'clock at night until 11 a.m. in the morning, my phone is set to do not disturb because I don't want to, nor do I need to, interact with anyone or anything that is going to distract me from completing the necessary tasks that I need to get done. Third, downtime goes hand in hand with do not disturb. Downtime allows you to choose which specific apps, phone calls, messages you receive in a certain time frame. So for me, of course, it's going to be between the period of 9 p.m. at night and 11 a.m. in the morning. All the apps that can potentially distract you go into downtime. WhatsApp, YouTube, your browser, whatever it is, put them in there. You also want to put a passcode in for downtime so that it makes it harder for you to access these apps whilst you are in downtime. If you don't trust yourself with this, ask somebody to put a downtime code in there, so that way, when you do try to sabotage yourself, you don't know the passcode. Finally, out of sight, out of mind. You've done all these things, and that's great. However, remember the fact that you are a phone addict. Just like a smoker, if there's a packet of cigarettes in front of them, best believe they are going to consume them. Stick your phone in a drawer, in a separate room, so that you don't find yourself habitually trying to pick it up to browse those non-existent social media apps. These changes will take time to adapt to. It's not an overnight process. Change of any description takes time. That is a simple fact of life. You've become so accustomed to picking up your phone, mindlessly scrolling out of sheer boredom, that you will find yourself just looking for it and reaching for it at random points in the day. Remember, time is your most valuable asset. It's the one thing that you can spend, but you can never earn.